name's Mike Rothery. I'm an author, a writer of novels. I started writing in 1983 and having retired as a director of a software company. Before that I was in the Navy for 25 years and I lived in Weymouth on and off at the time. Fell in love with the place. I loved the little quaint pubs and shops and the prettiest harbour in the world as far as I'm concerned. And even though it's bucket and spade land, it's a wonderful place even in the summer. And I like sailing, so a lot of my books are based on the sea, the sailing. I'm inspired by the sea. I do a lot of sailing. I've done a couple of transatlantic crossings by sailboat. And I like to write in the Caribbean in the winter because it's by far the nicest place to sit on a balcony and overlook a nice impossibly blue sea and get inspired to write about that area. Ian Fleming, of course, lived in Jamaica, I think, and for many years.
He did that too.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So we're here at the Old Rooms Inn in Weymouth today, and we're talking about your new book, The Waiting Pool.
The Waiting Pool, yeah.
Could you kind of tell us what that's all about in a nutshell, do you think?
So The Waiting Pool, I just completed it. In fact, I'm here today to launch the book. It was actually released to ebook media last week. It's about a couple of sailors, a man and a woman, Stella and Patrick, who we first met in my first novel, which was The Errant Petty Officer, and they're continuing adventures now, where they sail to the Caribbean, and the first thing that happens to them, they're trying to enjoy their idyll after an arduous Atlantic crossing, and they come across a pair of corpses, brutally murdered bodies of two Americans that they'd actually befriended. And that's when they start to learn about the dark side of the cocaine trade, and they get enmeshed in the whole thing, quite violently so. And it's set against the background, it's set in the early 1980s, against the background of the Grenadian Revolution, Maurice Bishop's government there, and the subsequent invasion by the United States forces in 1983. And the main protagonist, Patrick Redmond, gets himself involved in this, reluctantly so, but then he manages to get away, but the adventure continues, and there's a lot of sailing in it. It's generally about two people on a yacht. That get involved in something they didn't really want to get involved in.
Will there be a follow-up to this one?
There is going to be a follow-up. It's going to be a trilogy. However, my next novel that I'm currently working on is called Splitwindia, and it's a fantasy adventure. It's still about sailing, but we go into the realms of the supernatural, and there's that element in it. It's going to be quite a popular novel, I feel, because it's quite a genre that is top of the ratings at the moment. So I'm going to get into that market for a little while, and then I'll be going back to the Patrick and Stella story and completing the trilogy.
Right, so where are these books available?
The books are available on Amazon, on Kobo, on Smashwords, on Barnes & Noble's Nookbook program, ebook program. Those companies also offer the paperback version as well. And local people, if they know me or they come up to me, they can actually buy a copy of the hard copy from me, a signed copy. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So how long does it take to write, say, the new book?
The new book took just short of a year altogether. The actual story came together quite quickly in about a month, but then the hard work starts, the technical, the editing, the rejigging of the story, the designing of the cover, the formatting of it, and then once again going back and rejigging the story again, so that happened 3 times, and then the proofreading, so the whole thing took about a year. altogether.
You run your own publishing company as well?
I have my own imprint. It's called Weatherdeck Books,
Right.
and I imprint under that name on the ebook
Is
media.
there a website for that?
Yes, I have a website. It's called www.weatherdeckbooks.co.uk, although .com will get you there as well.
And I shall add a link to that too on the YouTube channel.
Good. Okay.
So people can see the video and click on the link and go to your company.
Yeah. Good.
Fine, I think that's it for the moment. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, Peter. My pleasure.